Have you ever wondered about the latest Chinese aggression in the West Philippine Sea and why China must stop their aggression? It's a complex issue filled with high-stakes diplomacy, international law, and the unsettling show of military might. The West Philippine Sea is a theater of tension, a stage where the battle for territorial claims unfolds. Recently, the spotlight has been on China's assertive actions. They've been accused of using military-grade lasers to temporarily blind the crew of a Filipino ship delivering supplies to troops in the region. This is not a scene from a science fiction movie. It's a harsh reality, a testament to the lengths some are willing to go to stake a claim, to intimidate, to assert dominance. But it doesn't stop there. Chinese ships have also reportedly used water cannons against Filipino vessels at Scarborough Shoal and Second Thomas Shoal. These are not isolated incidents, but part of a broader pattern of aggression. The Philippines, asserting its sovereignty, has filed numerous diplomatic protests against China's actions. The world watches on as tensions rise and international criticism mounts against China's actions. Yet, the territorial drama in the West Philippine Sea isn't just a two-player game. Other nations like Brunei, Malaysia, and Vietnam also have their stakes in the region. It's a tangled web of claims and counterclaims, a geopolitical chessboard where each move can have far-reaching consequences. China's actions in the West Philippine Sea have been met with global concern. Laws, norms, and a 2016 ruling dismissing China's expansive claims are cited. But the question remains, will this be enough to curb the aggression? The West Philippine Sea is more than just a body of water. It's a symbol of sovereignty, a testing ground for international law, and a flashpoint for potential conflict. As we delve deeper into these incidents and their implications, it's essential to remember what's at stake here: peace, stability, and the very rules that govern our world. Let's delve deeper into these incidents and their implications. Stay tuned. Let's take a closer look at the Chinese Coast Guard's use of a military-grade laser against a Filipino ship. This incident, which occurred in the contested waters of the South China Sea, is a stark illustration of the ongoing tension in the region. The Chinese Coast Guard vessel reportedly used this laser to temporarily blind the crew of a Filipino ship that was on a mission to deliver supplies to troops. This act wasn't a show of fireworks, but a calculated move designed to intimidate and assert dominance. The Philippines, understandably, did not take this lightly. They filed numerous diplomatic protests against China's actions, standing firm in their resolve to assert their sovereignty and protect their territorial integrity. This move was not only about resisting a single act of aggression, but about signaling to China and the world that such behavior is unacceptable. China, on the other hand, had a different interpretation of the events. They claimed their actions were lawful, justifying the laser attack as a necessary measure within their rights. But this viewpoint is not shared by everyone. International experts view this laser attack as a form of intimidation that fits into a larger pattern of China's aggressive behavior in the region. This incident is more than a case of he said, she said. It's a reflection of the power dynamics at play in the South China Sea, a region fraught with territorial disputes and conflicting interests. The laser attack is not an isolated event, but part of a broader narrative of tension and contestation. This incident is just one example of China's ongoing aggression in the region. It's a sobering reminder of the challenges that the Philippines and other countries face as they navigate the choppy waters of international relations in the South China Sea. Another incident that recently made headlines involved Chinese ships using water cannons against Filipino vessels. This happened not once, but twice, at both the Scarborough Shoal and the Second Thomas Shoal. These actions, seen as a blatant display of aggression, have drawn attention from the international community and have been met with stern responses from the Philippines. The Filipino government, in response to these attacks, summoned the Chinese ambassador and even considered expulsion. They filed diplomatic protests, and President Marcos Jr. made a vow to defend the country's sovereignty. This is a serious matter, as it threatens not just the stability of the region, but also the principles of international law. Speaking of international law, it's important to mention a significant ruling from 2016. The Permanent Court of Arbitration in The Hague dismissed China's expansive claims to the South China Sea. This ruling was a clear message that territorial claims must be in compliance with the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. Unfortunately, China has chosen to disregard this ruling, continuing to assert its claim through artificial islands and military presence. In spite of China's blame game, pointing fingers at the Philippines for the incidents, the world has not turned a blind eye. Criticism came from the United States and Europe, citing international law and the 2016 ruling. It's a clear call for China to respect the sovereignty of other nations and adhere to international rules. These incidents have raised serious questions about China's intentions in the South China Sea. Before we continue with the implications of these incidents, take a moment to hit the subscribe button for more insightful content. Now, let's delve into the repercussions of these actions, shall we? China's aggressive maneuvers in the South China Sea have significant implications, not just for the countries directly involved, but for international relations as a whole. The Philippines, for instance, is in a precarious position. The country has taken a transparency strategy to expose China's actions, aiming to assert its sovereignty and prevent escalation, while simultaneously seeking international support. However, the success of this strategy is not guaranteed. Despite some successes in altering China's operational behavior and raising global awareness, the Philippines is grappling with challenges such as the deteriorating state of the Sierra Madre outpost and China's undeterred ambitions in the region. This situation underscores the need for a robust, unified response from the international community to China's actions. The implications extend beyond the Philippines. Other countries in the region, including Brunei, Malaysia, and Vietnam, also have territorial claims in the South China Sea. China's aggressive actions could potentially destabilize the region, disrupting peace and security. This issue also calls into question the effectiveness of international law and norms in restraining such aggressive behavior. The international community's response will set a precedent for future conflicts over territorial waters. Will the world stand by as sovereignty is threatened, or will it take a stand to uphold international law and norms? China's continued aggression poses a significant threat to peace and stability in the region. The question that remains is, how will the world respond? Will international law prevail, or will might make right? Remember to subscribe for more amazing content. Keep wondering, keep questioning, and most importantly, keep informed. The world is full of intricate puzzles waiting to be solved, and together we can make sense of them. So, why must China stop their aggression in the West Philippine Sea? Let's take a moment to revisit the highlights of our discussion. We've covered the laser attack by the Chinese Coast Guard, which was a clear act of intimidation designed to assert dominance over disputed territories. We've also discussed the water cannon incidents where Chinese vessels unnecessarily escalated tensions by assaulting Filipino ships. These acts of aggression not only undermine peace and stability in the region, but they also pose a dire threat to the sovereignty of nations like the Philippines. The South China Sea is a critical global trade route, and any disruption in this region would have far-reaching economic implications. It's not just about one country's territorial claims, but about maintaining an international order based on respect for sovereignty and international law. Continued aggression from China could potentially lead to an escalation of conflicts, not just with the Philippines, but with other nations who also have territorial claims in the region. This could result in a destabilizing arms race, causing more countries to militarize in response to perceived threats, which is a scenario that benefits no one. China's assertive actions also set a dangerous precedent for other nations with territorial disputes. If left unchecked, it could give a green light to the belief that might makes right, which goes against the principles of peaceful resolution that the international community strives to uphold. It's essential for China to stop these aggressive actions and instead engage in meaningful dialogue to resolve these disputes. It's high time that diplomacy and negotiation take center stage, rather than military intimidation and aggression. In a world where we're more interconnected than ever, it's crucial to uphold respect for international law and territorial sovereignty. A peaceful South China Sea is not just beneficial for the countries directly involved, but for the global community as a whole. Remember to subscribe for more amazing content and keep wondering about the world around you. Don't miss out on future explorations and discoveries. Hit subscribe and ring the bell to stay updated with our new content. Your journey of wonder continues with every video. Stay connected and engaged on social media. Continue the conversation, follow us. Thank you for being a part of the Have You Ever Wondered community. Keep wondering, keep discovering. Until next time.